Tyrone is pissed off with soft guy era. Tyrone is pissed off with soft guy era, just like he was pissed off with men going their own way. We have a video from the Laugh Factory today. The channel will be linked in the description so you can go and check out the channel. It's actually titled Chocolate Sunday Comedy, but it's a video from the Laugh Factory. And we have a Tyrone who's pissed off with the with soft guy era. And I want you to watch the end of this video to fully understand why these Tyrones are so pissed off with soft guy era, men going their own way, men walking away, and the implications it's going to have on society going forward. And now let's just go ahead and jump right into the video.
See, most of y'all are kids, you haven't lived yet. You still out here living the American mother dream. But it's a real world out here in the mother world, you understand? And that's what's really important. That's why I'm on here, because I always try to give game. You know, I tell men when you go on a date and you go out to the club and you hold a conversation with a young lady, you buy that young lady a drink. That's for a time. These young niggas on social media talk about, fuck that nigga, fuck that bitch, let her be thirsty. I'm like, nigga, who raised you? When you walk down the street with a woman, you walk on the outside to show that you respect her.
You hear the simp in the background? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Keep in mind, some of the video is going to actually be paused in some places because of copyright. But just so you know that it's not that it's not that the video is freezing on you. It's just that I paused it. But but you'll still hear the audio. But yeah, guys, I mean, this is the reality right now where you have these simps who are pissed off with the way society is. These are men, Tyrones, that, you know, they've been living off other men for ages. Because these types of men, they don't pay for anything. You think this man's going to buy a woman a drink? He's not buying her no damn drink, all right? They get it for free, you know, and then basically the saying goes, you know, alpha fucks, beta bucks. In other words, you know, the alpha or the Chad and the Tyrone, they're the ones who get the physical intimacy, and the beta male, they're the ones who end up having to spend the cash. This is a total load of BS that this dude is putting out there, and they're pissed off with the status quo because these are the men who are angry now because men don't want to pay for their kids anymore. Like men like this, I don't want to pay for his kids. Why the hell am I going to pay for his kids? Why the hell are you going to pay for his kids? Why should anyone pay for his kids? So these men are pissed off now that men are walking away and don't want to pay for the children of single moms anymore. You know, that these men leave behind. And now they're like, listen, you need to learn how to be a gentleman. You need to learn how to take care of a lady. Get the hell out of here, simp.
It's like, let that bitch get hit by a car. I tell niggas, when you go on a flight, on a plane, a woman always supposed to sit by the window. You're supposed to sit on the outside to show that she's protected. These young niggas like, nigga, I paid for a ticket too. What if I want to look out the window? I'm like, who raised these motherfuckers? This shit has gotten the fuck out of hand. Social media has destroyed men being men. We can't be chivalry anymore. I love to compliment a woman. That's what men do. I come from an era where we was players, nigga. We bought women drinks, we bought them cars, we bought them condos. These niggas don't do that no motherfucker more.
We bought them condos. We bought them cars. Do you hear this level of absolute nonsense that's coming out this individual's mouth? Men are not supposed to be spending that kind of money on a woman. A man is supposed to be planning for his future. You know what? You know the kind of guy that does these things? A sugar daddy and a trick. Okay, and let's be realistic. A sugar daddy is another form of trick. It's a long-term trick, but he's getting exactly what he wants. He wants sugar. She wants money. It's an arrangement. Okay, men going around giving women things for free, it only reinforces the notion that women are worth more than men are because they are put on a pedestal and they're handed things just for simply existing. I remember once I said to my cousin, wow, look at my car. I bought this car. I got a great deal on it. And she was like, oh, yeah, see my car right here? I was like, yeah. She's like, I got it for free. I got it for free. Just to let me know what life is like for a woman, okay? They get everything they get cars for free. They get their rent paid for. They have their phone paid for. They have their meals paid for just for existing. They live like celebrities. You have to understand, for the average woman, it's like being a celebrity. It's like they're born millionaires and they live life on easy mode for the next 40 to 50 years. And then they suddenly get old and realize, okay, now I need to go and look for a beta male to provide for me. But I'm never actually going to leave the streets. I'm going to cheat on him. I'm going to do things behind his back because I never actually liked him. I don't love him. But, you know, and you have to understand, guys, we do it to ourselves as men. We do it to ourselves as men because we are conditioned by idiots like this individual who is telling us that we're supposed to go and take women out, buy them drinks, buy them condos, buy them cars, give them all of these gifts and to buy their love. You cannot buy someone's love. You cannot buy someone's affection. All you can do is buy their time. Okay, buy their presence. And when you do these things, you are reinforcing to a woman that she is higher value than you are. She is valuable just for existing and that she deserves these things. Do you understand that the average man, like the average man, is never going to fly on a luxury jet in his life. The average man is not going to go to a VIP section at a Lakers game. The average man is never going to experience any of these things in his entire life. Do you know who does these things on a regular basis? Women going to basketball games that they're invited by the players, being flown all over the world, because they're simply women, because they simply exist. First class tickets, guys. Guys. Many of us have never flown first class in our entire lives. I'm not saying all of us. Many of us have never flown first class in our entire lives. Okay. Well, for women, that's just a normal thing because, they have a man who paid for their first class. It's crazy. How many guys have never been to a 5-star restaurant before? How many women have? And women get pissed off. They're like, "Oh, so you want to be a girl now? You want to be treated like a girl? Wait a minute. You mean you want to be treated like a human? We want to be treated like human beings? You're telling us that for us to be treated well, that means that we want to be treated like a girl? You're a man. What does that mean? You're a man. You're supposed to sacrifice for a woman. You're supposed to sacrifice for women. You're supposed to sacrifice for society. That's what men do. You're a man." Like these women, they don't like us. Think about this very carefully. The men that they like don't sacrifice anything. And you know what's hilarious about this, guys? Society is like this with men too. Because Chad and Tyrone, they all have drug problems. Chad is not a good dude. Chad is a piece of shit. Chad has a drug problem, substance abuse, mental incompetence. Chad cannot serve in the military. Chad cannot serve in the military. Tyrone cannot serve in the military. So who ends up serving in the military? Plan B guys. Those are the men, guys. Guys, we get screwed at at everything that we do. We work, we take care of ourselves. We're responsible. We learn a trade, or we go to college and we get an advanced education. We earn an income. We pay our taxes. What's our reward for that? We're called misogynists and then told that, hey, you're gonna have to go defend your country now. While Chad and Tyrone get to stay behind, chill with public assistance, and basically make love to these women. All right, like this is the reality. For you are punished in today's society for not being a total piece of crap. This is why so many men are now waking up and realizing that it was never worth it. I hear guys going, "I love my country." What do you love about it? The freedom. What freedom do we actually have here? We have an illusion of freedom. We were never free. All right, we do not have freedom. We have an illusion of freedom. The American dream, it's a dream because you have to be asleep to believe it. And the reality is that by the time people realize that not only is it a dream, it's a nightmare, it's too late. It's too late. Guys, this dystopia was coming for a long time. But let me make this very clear. The people who are mainly responsible for this are the baby boomers. It's the baby boomers. They're the ones driving us towards global crises and conflicts with other nations. They're the ones who have ruined and pillaged the economy and continue to drive us into poverty. Come 2025, the last of the baby boomers will turn 65, and shortly after that, they're all going to start collecting. Most of them are going to collect Social Security right off the bat. I'm just telling you that right now, because they know that it's running out of money. So they're going to immediately rush in and start collecting as much as they can. All right. And draining out as much as they can. And because they're like taking part-time jobs, or they're leaving their leadership, or they're keeping those leadership roles at these companies where they get paid large amounts of money to do literally nothing, younger generations are absolutely screwed. So they're draining the social safety program. So these people are draining Social Security. They're draining Medicare. They're draining Medicare because it's going to be it's going to be absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible. They're going to cripple the economy. They're going to cripple the economy. And the funniest part about it is that they absolutely don't care. You know, they could care less about what happens to anyone else. And their go-to is, the kids will be just fine. Like, we're not kids anymore. We're gray. We have gray hair. And like, look at this. The apocalypse of baby boomers, how retiring seniors will cripple the economy. All right. And seniors will make up over 20% of the population by 2020. And which means that let's check this, which means that they'll be past the current age of retirement. This doesn't mean that boomers will stop working, but it does mean that they'll become eligible for social assistance. And in the U.S. government provided Medicare coverage, putting a strain on public funds. You know, boomers will begin drawing from their portfolio. So as boomers get older, they will be forced by tax laws to withdraw savings from their tax advantage retirement accounts, such as 401ks in the U.S. or RRSPs in Canada. This could depress the price of stocks that are held in those accounts, which could compromise the overall value of their retirement portfolios. So, guys, 80% of the stock market, by the way, is held by the horrible baby boomers. And so when they start to retire and start pulling out their money out of 401ks, they can basically take the entire stock market down. Like, people don't understand, like, they're going to start pulling out this, when they start pulling out of their 401ks, a lot of them are invested in the stock market. So they're going to begin pulling their money out of the stock market and living off that. And they own 80% of the stock market. So it's all going to implode. It's a big Ponzi scheme, guys.
The men now are the new women. That's the way this shit is. Men are looking for women to be taken care of. Ain't this shit crazy? These niggas don't even walk like men no motherfucking more. Back when I was there, nigga had a stroll. Nigga was motherfucking walking, you know? These niggas don't even move their arms now. These niggas just walk like this and shit. You got some niggas hold their arms. These niggas be walking down the street like this. I was coming down Sunset. I pulled out, said, nigga, if you don't swing them motherfucking arms. Because we got niggas out here slinging dick like they successful. You got niggas dicking bitches down like they got money in the bank. And you niggas know your financial situation is fucked up. But yet you still approach a bitch knowing you're about to destroy her life. Some of you niggas so fucked up, you'll bring a bitch over to your apartment and a lot of you niggas don't have a bedroom set.
You know, so these men are someone to talk. They're not taking care of their kids, you know, but they're out here running their mouths about other men, because at the end of the day, they're pissed off that these men don't want to take care of their kids anymore. They don't want to take care of Chad's kids anymore. They don't want to take care of Tyrone's kids anymore. They don't want to take care of Poncho's kids anymore. They're tired of that BS. That's why these men are going overseas, becoming passport kings. Or if a woman says that she wants to go out, she needs to bring something to the relationship. She needs to cover some bills. She needs to pay for some stuff. She has a job. She can afford it, all right? This is a whole different era. If a woman wants to secure a man, she needs to bring something to the table. If she wants a traditional man that pays all of the bills in the house, she needs to be a traditional woman and only stay in the house. All right? And she's not going to get a life of luxury. Oh, no. When she's at home, she's going to make sure the house is immaculately clean. She's going to do meal prep. So there's going to always be food in the fridge. She's going to do laundry. So every single day, there will always be clean clothes. That house is going to be extremely tidy. She's going to look for other ways to constantly improve the situation around him. All right. She's going to have children. All right. She's going to raise those children. She's going to take care of those children. She's going to do all of these things and continually find new ways of creating value in that relationship for that man. That is what a traditional woman does. And she is going to be grateful to have a roof over her head, clothing on her back, and food that she can eat. That's a traditional woman. And she's not going to expect a life of luxury fur coats or any of that nonsense. That's a traditional woman. You have these tradcon women on YouTube who are like, oh, we're traditional women. You are not traditional women, because they're all looking for millionaires. Okay? They're all cosplaying traditional women. You had this one chick on here on YouTube who started wearing wearing a headscarf, but then she just stopped doing it because it wasn't catching on for her. All right, it's a whole like like guys, the whole Christianity thing for them is it's a hustle. It's a 100% hustle. It's virtue signaling. They're trying to attract a certain audience, and they're trying to make money off it. They've monetized Jesus. All right, they have monetized Jesus. These are some bad people. Look at what the church did. The church, when the Roman Empire fell, the church had lots of knowledge. They had math and science for thousands, guys, for 1,000 years. Humanity lived in darkness. All right, math and science vanished, but it didn't completely. What do I mean? Math, science, chemistry. The church had these. The Catholic Church still had all of these things. It had tons of history, and if you wanted to learn how to read, if you went to the church taught its own people how to read, how to write, how to do math, how to use chemistry. You're gonna say, how to do chemistry, Angry? How do you think bricks were made? How do you think paint was made? How do you think the chapels were made and all of this stuff was designed? Where do you think all of that stuff actually came from? Okay, the fact that the church had all of this, they had math, they had science, they had technology, and they kept it among themselves for 1,000 years. 1,000 years, they kept people in darkness and told people that if they didn't pay money to the church, their loved ones would burn in hell. But if they gave the church enough money, then they could be saved from hell. I'm not making this stuff up. And then that was also the era when all that witchcraft stuff started. Oh, there's all this witchcraft, and guys, it started long before Salem. All that stuff started long before Salem. All right. And here's another thing for you: when society collapsed during the Dark Ages, you basically had, you basically had women, going around in the street with these lunatic men that would say that they're trying to ward off disease, and it was some really nonsensical thing. People were eating squirrel meat. They were living in caves. Sanitation went to hell. It was some truly horrific times. And yet there are idiots who are trying to convince us that it wasn't really that bad, and the Dark Ages never really happened. Please, guys, don't believe them. Humanity almost got wiped out. No, do you guys remember the whole black DAT, the bubonic plague? That was the Dark Ages, and it happened as a result of like fleas and rodents, or rodents carrying fleas, and it was terrible, absolutely terrible. And that was very much, that almost took humanity out. It almost took humanity out, and not a lot of people survived. It was really crazy. I mean, people survived, but it took out a lot of people. In fact, people who have a certain gene are actually a certain gene from back then that allowed them to survive that. But I mean, guys, this is the reality. This is the reality that we have to talk about, in Western society today. And of course, again, you have Tyrone. He's pissed off. He's pissed off with society. He's pissed off because men are in their soft guy era. They're not going to tolerate it anymore. They're not going to put up with the BS. They're prioritizing themselves. They're focusing on what's important to them, focusing on getting theirs, and they're not letting women dictate their lives anymore. Where this all basically leads is basically men continuing to walk away from Western society, focus on themselves, and Tyrone basically having to step up and take care of his own damn kids. Take care of his own kids, pay for his own bills, pay that child support. That's really where it's headed.
You have a mattress on the floor with a towel over the window, pretending that is a curtain. Nigga, who raised you? A lot of you niggas want to fuck all night, but a lot of you niggas don't even have snacks. What nigga fucks all night and don't have snacks? Bitches love snacks. When a girl get up and pee about 3:30 in the morning, she looks through your cabinets. She come back to the bedroom scratching her titties. Honey, do you have any snacks? A lot of you guys like getting your dick sucked, but you have nappy hair on your balls. Nigga, take a picture of your balls. Would you suck your balls?
You see, these guys, that's all it comes down to these men. This is why I talk about discipline. And I warn you, a lot of y'all, you need to learn how to have discipline. Don't be like these men. Do not be like these men. Learn how to have discipline. Learn how to control lust. Learn how to control desire. Learn how to control your appetite. Do not be like this man, because the center of their lives it revolves around money, women, and desire.
A lot of you young men here over 35 years old, you don't have a car. A bitch picked you up tonight. You got on the passenger side. She locked the door. She told you to put your seatbelt on.
You see, guys, these are jealous men. These are, first off, let me tell you something right now. If you don't need a car, you should not have a car. If a car is a liability, for example, you live in a city, you live in LA or San Diego or New York City, and they have, or Boston, and they have a robust transit system, and it costs you more money to own a car, do not own a car just for the sake of owning a car. Having to get up in the middle of the night to go run downstairs and move the car because of alternate side parking. It's a nightmare owning a vehicle, or having to pay crazy amounts of car insurance, monthly payments. If you do not need a car, you have no business owning a car. Do not own a car just for the prospects of being able to find some woman who does not want you. They do not want us, y'all. In Western society, they don't want you. All right. All of these men going out there trying to come up with money so they can find a woman who will accept them, so they're not lonely, just so that she can basically split the dude in two later on and take half his stuff and put him on alimony and child support for a kid that may not even be his. And then if he even finds out that the kid isn't his, even if he finds out the kid isn't his, through a DNA test later on, the judge will often still say, "Oh no, you built a relationship with that child, so I'm still going to keep you on child support for someone else's kid." See, this is why Tyrone's pissed off, because men are waking up to the game and they don't want to play along anymore. And these men are agents of the state. So basically, the state rewards them for bad mouthing men by allowing them to, shift their responsibilities to other men. That's exactly what it is. Oh my goodness. And by the way, guys, we have a clubhouse. Go, guys, join the Angry Guy Clubhouse to get exclusive insights. You can, become a part of the community, and also you get access to our free digital nomad blueprint. You can click the link in the description to get started. Guys, what do you think regarding all of this? Tyrone is pissed off with soft guy era. Let me know your thoughts, and we'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video, and just remember that all roads lead to MWA. Man, walking away. And cheers.